Hello, everybody. My name is JaMarr John Johnson. Today just happens to be my birthday. I'm 18. Thank you. Thank you. I took Facing History and Ourselves the second semester of my junior year at Vanguard High School. I'm currently a senior. I'm also a chess fanatic, and I'm searching for Bobby Fischer. Has anybody seen him? In my Facing History and Ourselves class, I watched my classmates closely examine the way we speak and generalizations and jump to judge one another. One thing I like to focus on is the way that education affects the way people act and think in a society. Facing History and Ourselves uses the rise of the Nazis as a case study to help us understand ourselves and the strengths of our democracy. In Nazi Germany, the educational system was set up to implant the ideas and opinions of Nazi officials. One of the goals of that system was to teach people, especially children, to give control of their lives and decisions to people of authority. My class discussed how propaganda and education became the same thing. Students who questioned would be punished. Teachers weren't there to instruct, but to discipline. According to Nazi officials, students who do not have the capacities for absolute obedience and submission must be expelled. German students were taught to scapegoat the Jews and others for their problems. Race science and eugenics showed kids that they, the Aryans, were on top. With all this, it should be quite clear that the basic purpose of the Nazi education was to raise a generation of children like soldiers who would obey their every command. There was a time when I was hanging out with the wrong crowd doing minor things. And one day, my friend got into an altercation with a man I had never seen before. My friend started to jump the man and encouraged me to join the fight. Now I thought to myself, while listening to the man cry for help, that I wouldn't be helping my friends by stomping on a man who cannot protect himself or who hasn't done anything wrong to me. So I decided not to fight, but to try and convince my friends to stop, but they didn't listen. If I would have physically tried to stop them, I could have been hurt. So I decided to leave and head home. Thinking about that situation, I asked myself, can education help others think for themselves and make their own decisions? I think so. Looking back at the fight, it makes me feel good that there's a place to discuss group behavior and conformity, so that people like my old friends can understand what they're doing and question it so things like that don't happen again. The teacher introduced material in my class, but ideas had to be discussed and facts had to be proven. Facing History made a huge impact on my fellow classmates and myself. During this time, students began to see their own racisms and prejudices. Some even stepped out of their groups. Facing History doesn't prepare students to be childlike soldiers, but instead helps to instruct thoughtful citizens. Now don't get me wrong now. I'm not saying that everybody who comes in contact with Facing History will come out seeing the light. What I am saying is that people in my class opened their minds and were willing to listen to other points of view. Now any class that accomplishes this accomplishes more than most classes. Before I go, I would like to read to you a letter written by a Holocaust survivor that can be found in the Facing History resource book that reflects some of my own thoughts. Dear teacher, I am a survivor of a concentration camp. My eyes saw what no man should witness. Gas chambers built by learned engineers. Children poisoned by educated physicians. Infants killed by trained nurses. Women and babies shot and burned by high school and college graduates. So I am suspicious of education. My request is, help your students become human. Your efforts must never produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, or educated Eichmanns. Reading, writing, and arithmetic are only important if they serve to make our children more human. Thank you.
Anybody else here want to follow that act? Tell you, I need notes. I'm not nearly as polished as the performance we just saw. My name is Bill Buckley, and I feel truly privileged to serve as the chair of the New York Advisory Committee of Facing History and Ourselves. On behalf of our committee, I want to add my word